There have been a couple of you guys asking me for movie reviews, and you guys have also been asking me what are my favorite movies to watch and which movies do I recommend. So recently, I watched the new horror film, slasher film, by the name of Thanksgiving, and I really enjoyed the film. Um, the reason I enjoyed the film was because there was a lot of horror elements in the beginning of the movie. It seemed like a cheap, it seemed like a cheap film, like a cheap zombie film, like it was going to be a zombie film or like an apocalypse. And the beginning shows the movie like to be a complete different movie. Like say you watch the movie like Zombieland. That's how the film starts out, like a Zombieland type of thing, where in Zombieland you see zombies, but instead of these people being zombies, they're just regular people rushing in on to a so-called Walmart, and they rush in there and they start to crowd the place and try to get all the items that before they're gone, and they get trampled. People get trampled in the film, and and some people get hurt, and some people just they just perish because people step on them and break their arms and break their legs and damage their heads. And it just seems like a whole completely different movie at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it just goes to be a slasher film. And this movie, to be honest, this movie wasn't like one of the more horror films, like the Terrifier 2. Like I still put the Terrifier 2 at a standard that is like really crazy. That film was insanely crazy, the Terrifier 2. But this film here is a step down, but it's still I guess it's a slasher film, so I do have to say that it's pretty decent for what it is, because like there's been movies like Halloween Ends, and that's the film that I still feel in my own thinking and in my own heart and in my own environment. I still say this movie wasn't great. The Halloween Ends wasn't really that great, as people like to mention. Oh, it's the best, and it's the closing. No, it's not great. But this um, Thanksgiving as a slasher film, it's pretty good. Like there's only one place that really scared me, and it got me. Like it went, it caught me off surprise, because like most of the films, I'm like they're trying to do the like this is what I see when I go into a movie. Like when I went to Thanksgiving and I started watching it, and throughout the film, I kept seeing like, what are you gonna try to do to up these other movies? Like you're doing the same typical jump scares and the same typical things that you see in other movies, where they open the door, they look behind the door, and then they think that the monster or the killer is there. Like, rah, open the door. There's nothing behind there. But then they turn around and all of a sudden the the killer is there, like and slashes them, or cuts them up or something, brutalizes them. So that's how I felt throughout the whole movie. I did enjoy it, okay, but it's not like it's the best of the best. Like for this year, I would say it's pretty good. Like I do recommend you guys watch this film. Is it like one of the best that's ever been made? No, and it but to be honest, it's one of the best movies Eli Roth has created since Clown. Like for me, I used to say Clown was like, it was like whatever. But now that I watch it, I feel like even though Clown is not really like one of the best films for 2014 or 2015, it was still pretty good. Like Clown back then, the film was pretty good for what it was, and I still watch it from time to time because I've grown to love that film, even though it's not like other films. It's like don't expect this film to be like some woke type stuff like most movies are now. Like these movies are all like they gotta lean to a certain demographic, or they gotta lean to one side in order to please the audience. No, this film is just about no, well, I won't say too much. I won't really say too much about the film, because if I do go and tell you about the film, then I'm ruining the film for you. But I'm gonna tell you, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent for what it is. I just don't want to spoil the film for you. That's the reason I'm not giving too much detail about the film. But the guy that portrays John Carver, the Pilgrim, it's pretty good. Like it's pretty entertaining for what it is. Like they make you think a certain way. Oh, the killer is my friend, or the killer is this guy, or the killer is my neighbor. No, it's not. It's none of those people. It's someone else. So I'm not giving too much detail, because if I give you guys detail, then you guys are gonna say you ruined the film for me. So I just gotta say this film was a solid 4 out of 5, a solid film. Like I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to say the best. That's subjective, but I do have to say it's really really good. It's really good. Like some of the kills, yeah, you could say it's some cheap B movie thing, but for me, I don't like those high end films, because what did we get with Halloween Ends? Like it really went to a direction that it felt like these people don't know what they're creating. They're just creating this film that they just created a film that for no reason, just to please the audience or to please the fans. But in reality, the film doesn't go anywhere. So I don't want to drag this way too long and just continue to say that this film is really good. But it's actually decent. It's actually decent for what it is. It's like better than I expected it to be, because most of these films nowadays, they just lean to one side and they say, "Oh, we gotta please this group, or we gotta please these people." No, I just felt this movie was pretty good. Eli Roth. I'm not a huge fan of Eli Roth. The only film I really watched was, like I said, Clown, and I enjoyed it. Eli Roth in Spider-Man, I gotta say, not bad, not bad in Spider-Man, but Eli Roth as a horror fan myself, I have to say it's okay. He's okay. Not gonna say he's off the top. He's a John Carpenter, or he's he's not a John Carpenter, but I do have to say that I enjoyed the film. So that's about it. Like I said, I give it a 4 out of 5. This film was pretty good for what it was. The beginning was like a whole different film, and then the middle was like the real film. Like the beginning was just like a film that's like some of them start as it's like The Barbarian. The Barbarian starts out as a comedy, and it starts out really good, and then it tricks you into thinking, oh, the film is gonna be a comedy horror film, but then when you go up throughout the film, it's a different film. So that's how I feel about this movie. That the beginning is definitely like a throw off to make you think, oh my gosh, this film is gonna be about this. But then when you go and actually watch the thing, it's completely different to what the actual film is about. Because in the beginning they trick you into thinking, oh, it's gonna be this thing, and it's gonna be all about this. But then you watch the film and you realize it's not about what the begin. It's somewhat about what the beginning of the film is, but it's not really it's not really the same way. Like the beginning seems like a whole completely different film. So like I said, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, if you guys like me to do another film review, a movie review, or you guys want me to give you like lists of movies that I've watched and I've enjoyed, let me know. And once again, all the links are in the description down below to follow me on Instagram, on Threads, on X, formerly known as Twitter, and my Facebook page if you guys still care about that. And if you guys don't, then you don't have to follow me. But if you want to follow me, follow me. And as always, I'll catch you guys in another video.